As you race down the hallway, all of you, for a brief instant, your vision flickers. You see ash and dust and soot. Only for a moment, and not for so long that you stop running. You ignore it and continue to the airship, which waits in the courtyard. There is the anchor chain, which 6 months ago you climbed up on your first mission. You didn't realize that the next time you climbed it would possibly be the greatest thing that you would do in a lifetime. Up the chain, go champions! Show these Grosnak how it's done.
All right. It's not gonna get the best of me this time. Hollis? I climb on Hollis's shoulders.
The Grosnak, despite, just seeing an island filled with hundreds of thousands of people be completely wiped out about 10 minutes ago, all manage a chuckle. Hollis, you grab the chain, and unlike 6 months ago, for any of you, there is no struggle. You climb it. Surely the results of 8 intense months of champion training. As soon as everybody's squared away, and the ship casts off, you find yourself sweeping over the island of Veridin. You grimace as you see the chaos below, the people panicking, the Grosnak holding back the throngs of people, pushing forward towards the Imperial Palace, screaming about how the Emperor has lost his divine mandate. As you sweep down and begin to descend, the crest of the island starting to come above you, you see fires start to be set as the riots get out of control. But you've no time for that. Champions, it will be about a day until we get to Port Fulte. Make your preparations. We must be swift. The journey from Port Fulte to Rookhaven, if they don't let us use the airship, would be about a month if we cut through Diadem, which I intend to do. That's if we want to go to Rookhaven. We'll ask around the port and see where the champions headed after we dropped them off 6 months ago. For now, get yourself some food, get yourself some rest. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning as we make our descent. And with that, Daruk Nagamori goes to his cabin, leaving you all to your devices.
I can't believe this is happening. It reminds me of the dream that we all had. I'm so angry.
3 of you gather around Skyla.
I'm patting Skyla on the back, encouragingly, going like, I can't imagine the way you're feeling right now at all, but like we're all processing all of this. So yeah, it really sucks, but we have a mission. All right, we gotta stay on course. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, don't do anything too rash.
Hollis, will you hold my crystal for me? I'll use it when the time is right, but I don't want to use it for something I'll regret.
I will. I accept.
Dragonbeard stands stoically against the mast. It's at this point that Captain Dolphwhisper comes up to you, Dragonbeard. Hey, brother. You'll never guess what we have in the hold that the Emperor gave us. Look at this, and he motions for you to follow him down below to the cargo deck. In fact, all of you ought to see what kinds of toys the Emperor gave us to play with. And you all go down below decks, and there are crates that the Grosnak are kind of grinning at. One of them breaks one open with a crowbar, and inside are long wooden shafts with a piece of iron, an iron tube running through them. Rifles! Yes, we'll definitely have the edge down there on the surface. A little bit of gunpowder, a steel ball with some spikes on it. Oh, it's going to be delicious. Unfortunately, they got a lot of kick. And if you don't have dragon scales, well, you're gonna get hurt. So, Dragonbeard, you want one?
Certainly.
He hands you a big meaty... Now, you gotta imagine, this thing is like a small log that you can just barely get your claws around, with a big metal lever, with a big switch. When you pull the lever, the switch goes down, and you assume that hits a piece of flint, which ignites the gunpowder inside the tube, and sends a ball about the size of a cue ball you'd find on a pool table out. It's a mini cannon. It's It's made for fucking shit up. Pardon my French. So you've got that, and you've got 4 of these big, thick steel balls, and 4 pouches of powder. 4 shots, essentially, on this big log with a leather strap that can go over your shoulder. This thing seems pretty meaty, so if you need to toss it down to pull out your sword, it won't be broken at all. Just make sure you don't toss it down on the lever when it's loaded, otherwise you're gonna send a big hunk of metal into somebody's ankle. Or, that could be just what you want. The rest of you rather jealously watch Dragonbeard ogle his new toy, but you've got the rest of the night. Dragonbeard, you have your rifle, but what would you choose to do next?
Examine it further and be about my day, I guess.
Well, you sit there like a dragon sitting on a pile of gold, jealously looking over your weapon, your instrument, examining others to make sure that yours is not worse than anyone else's and that you haven't been duped into a rifle of lesser quality. Hollis, you don't really get what all the fuss is about, but what do you do next?
I'm not really excited about the rifles because I prefer the blood of my enemies on my hands. So I don't really take one. I just kind of want to get started on trying to find my dad. I mean, my mentor. I miss my mentor.
You my dad. Diana, what are you doing with your free time? The last that you might have for a while.
Well, I guess I'm just walking around and talking to people. Who's
I'd ask
next to me?
Well, there's just some random Groznak next to you, as well as your companions. But in the captain's cabin is Daruk Nagamori, who is in charge of the Groznak on this mission, the Emperor's bodyguard. And at the helm, he's left after showing Dragonbeard the rifles, is Captain Dolph Whisker and his daughter.
I asked them how they're doing. How are they holding up in all of this? The daughter and...
Captain Dolph Whisker.
Yeah.
Well, an island just fell from the sky, but luckily the Emperor gave us this flying airship, so I think we're safe. I hope everybody who fell is all right, though. And Captain Dolph Whisker's daughter is about 4 or 5 as a dragonkin, so young. Captain Dolph Whisker is darkly holding his gaze on the wheel, trying not to respond to the fact that everybody who fell on that island is most certainly dead.
Well, I try and reassure her, and I tell her that many prayers have been sent.
That's good. I like your shield.
Oh, thank you. It was a gift.
It's very pretty, like you.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
And she runs off giggling amongst the much taller dragonkin warriors who adjust their scales so they don't accidentally cut her. She's still very soft. Her scales haven't come in yet. Captain Dolph Whisker has his hands on the wheel. I'd hoped something like this wouldn't happen in her lifetime. To think of it, I hadn't thought anything like this would happen, ever. I guess I never really questioned about if the fonts would ever run out. I'll be honest, I'm a bit scared, Diana.
Sometimes there are just a lot of things that we just can't control, and this is just one of those things, unfortunately. And we will try and find those champions as best as we can.
Good. I've had many benders with Damien. He's a good man. Speaks very, very highly of you. I'm sure he'll appreciate you leading the cavalry, huh? Now go, I'd like to be alone for a little bit. Skylar, do you have anything?
I'm gonna just talk to Hollis for a second. Hey man, I can't shake this feeling that it's all my fault. 'Cause I've been wishing for the islands to fall out of the sky for years, and now I feel like God has answered my prayers, if there even is a God, I don't know. I feel like it's my fault, and I can't get over that, and I know that it's probably just some random event that is happening with the fonts, but I can't help but feel responsible.
Just because you wanted something doesn't mean that it's your fault. I mean, you had every reason to be mad. I've hated the island sometimes when I was being, bullied by the other orcs. It's okay to feel resentful. But you didn't actively try to bring the islands down, so this isn't your fault at all. And it's foolish to think so. So, yeah, I give her a hug, I pat her on the head, and I tell her that she gets unlimited piggyback rides.
Yay!
What a bond. Aw. Well, with that, Dragonbeard, is there anything that the rest of you want to do for the rest of this evening, or do you want to head to bed?
Probably rest. Been quite an eventful day.
In the span of about 3 hours, you went from eating dinner to being on an airship to the surface. Diana, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think we should have a drink.
Roast. And you drink the heavy, spiced dragon mead. And with that, you spend the rest of your evening chattering away till it's time to go to bed. Some of you don't sleep. Some of you do, surprisingly. But before too long comes the light gray of morning. You realize that you're in a fog bank. At the bow of the ship is Daruk Nagamori as you all come above decks, strapped with your weapons and armor, your adventuring gear on your back, all of your tools ready to go for the moment that you hop off the ship. Well, the charts and my dragon intuition tell me that we should be around Port Fulte. All this damned fog. We should be there any second now. If you have any last things that you need to do on board, do them now. No? Well, once we get down on the ground, let me do the talking. I'll talk to the authorities of the Altrian border guard and see if we can't use the airship to get to Rookhaven as quickly as possible, or wherever the champions have gone. Generally, they won't let us use an airship in their space. Let's get it together. Dolph Whisker, drop us below these clouds. I want to see what's going on the ground. Port Fulte should be around here somewhere. And the airship descends and descends and descends. All of you roll a perception check. Hollis, you're the only one to really notice the smell of smoke on the air. But before you can call out, you suddenly drop below the fog. And before you is Port Fulte. And out in the field before it is a bunch of tents and a bunch of structures made out of wood. And as you look closer, the city walls look pretty beat up. It actually looks like a fire just got put out. And you see a whole bunch of people on the ground pointing up at your airship as these great wooden structures, which you now recognize to be catapults and trebuchets, start maneuvering to fire at you. What in the hell? It's a siege! It's a siege in Port Fulte! It's flying the Altrian flag! Wait, it's not Altrian. It's red. And as Daruk desperately tries to get the airship to lift, you notice clay urns start to fly around your ship as the trebuchets fire. One of them slams against the hull, leaving a black, oily substance. And then flaming ballista bolts start careening around you. Dolph Whisker, get us up! Get us up! They're going to blow us up! And then everything goes black.
I was born